All right, so welcome back to Real Women, Real Life. We're on episode 6. Angie, we are almost to a 10 episode milestone. I'm so excited. I
Yay!
know it's something to celebrate. So we are still connecting with women all over the world and learning about what these women do to impact the disability community and their community as a whole. So today we have Gaby with us. She's coming in from Illinois. And she is also diagnosed with cerebral palsy. So Angie and her have that in common today, which is awesome. So make sure you rep your green, just like we talked about a few episodes ago, right? And
Right?
so I wanted to introduce you to Gaby and have you learn a little bit about what she does in her daily life and how she is also a very powerful disability advocate in her community. So Gaby, welcome to the show. We're so excited to have you.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited. Well, let me tell you a little bit about myself. I am a twin. I'm a twin who also, and my twin also has CP. So we've double trouble the whole time, all the time. I am a 36-year-old woman, single, from South Suburban Illinois. I am a graduate with a master's degree from St. Xavier University. And what I've been doing with my time since graduation has been a lot of volunteer work, just trying to get a variety of opportunities in. And I've done central scheduling at a local hospital. And I've also done more of my favorite piece of nonprofit work is my work with the Association of Horizons. We are a very grassroots organization that strives to provide opportunities of social and recreational opportunities for individuals with physical disabilities, specifically adults, and that's unheard of simply because the way society sees it, a lot of the majority of our programming that's targeted for people with physical disabilities is specifically tailored to children. And it tends to cease in existence and stop at the age of 18 because society doesn't think we seem to exist anymore after the age of 18. And it actually is quite the opposite because in the bigger scheme of things, there's a larger percentage of children with physical disabilities than there is adults. But the numbers are changing. People are beginning to live longer because of breakthroughs in science and the medical community. Unfortunately, programs are not being developed quickly enough. So a lot of our adults tend to miss out on recreational and social opportunities after they turn the age of 18. So our cornerstone program with the Association Horizon is a week-long summer camp that has been virtual for the past 2 years because of COVID. We were virtual in 2021 and 2020. All of our activities were through Zoom. It's our in-person camp as well as our virtual camp is free because of the majority of our funding comes from our fundraisers and the generosity of the local community, of local organizations that we partner with to make sure that none of the cost is passed on to our campers. We, this year specifically, celebrate our 30th year in existence. So the association has been around since the early 1990s. And we are blessed to have dynamic supporters that have been a godsend with us through COVID, whether it's virtual or in person. They've been with us the whole time. Specifically, our in-person camp tends to hold about 100, I want to say about 130 to 150 campers for 1 week long stay. Our campers are partnered with either on a 1-to-1 volunteer ratio or sometimes a 1-to-2, depending on if a camper needs more help. They are partnered with someone to help to assist them in completing their basic caring needs, hygiene, feeding, toileting, etc. And the point of that is to not only assist them, but to kind of build a bond and friendship and understanding and getting to know each other and where every person comes from, as far as not only in their physical limitation or in their physical lives, but life in general. At camp, there are no limitations because all of our activities are meant for everyone to do. We have the traditional camp activities like arts and crafts, swimming, a lot of game nights. We have a popular camp favorite is dueling pianos. And like I said, none of this would be possible without the generosity of our donors and sponsors who are still with us. So thank you to them. And thank you to the Association of Horizons for for giving me kind of a reason to get up every day, because I'm very busy because of the work I do with the Association of Horizon. I do a little bit of everything, a little bit of PR, a little bit of new PR, fundraising, committee work, you name it, I do it. I try to dabble in a little bit of everything. I do a lot of the work behind the scenes. So not only am I the one that's benefiting from the programming as far as our summer camps go, all of our population helps to plan it. So not only do we benefit by actively participating in the activities, we plan everything ourselves. As a committee, as an organization, we do everything. And we work together as a team to make sure that camp becomes a reality every year, whether it's in person or whether it's virtual.
That's awesome. Well, I'm going to stop you there because that was a beautifully long introduction. So I wasn't able to ask you any questions because you kind of answered them all. So for our topic today, I really want us to talk a little bit about leisure. So Wheel Women is all about having the understanding that, yes, we as women have disabilities, but we can relate to all women regardless of the ability. Absolutely. So we want to make sure we are steering the conversation to relate to any woman that watches our podcast, or man at this point. I'm not sure who watches, but we want to make sure it relates to everybody, because the best way to bridge our gap between disability and able body is to show that we can build those connections, right? Mm-hmm. So talking a little bit about leisure activities and what that looks like, and I'm going to go to Angie first to answer the question, then we'll come back to you, Gabby. But what's like two of your top favorite social or leisure activities that you enjoy most?
Well, I love, let's see. I love like going out to eat and socializing with people, and also, like anything that I can like trivia nights and stuff like that, anything that can help me interact with other people so I can get to know them, gets me talking, and just enjoying somebody's company. I'd rather do a game night, anything like that. I'd rather do, to me, quality time is something very, very important, and it's something that's good for your soul, like to refresh yourself, especially after a busy work week and whatnot. It is important, just as important to work hard as it is to relax. For sure. So for your spirit and your well-being. And Gabby talked some about our new normal and some things that we've had to do to adjust because of the pandemic. And so we have to really think about our mental health as well. And to me, getting out as active as you can is important. Being able to be social in whatever capacity you can and connecting with others is very important, because human connection is important, particularly right now. So those are my thoughts, is that for me, leisure right now is has a very, very pivotal role in keeping us healthy.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely agree. So Gabby, coming to you, what are your top two? You named a lot of them, but what are like your top two most favorite leisure activities to do?
Let me just say that Angie, we need to hang out because everything she just said, I can totally relate to. I love going out to dinner with my friends, and that's been kind of hard to do right now because, because of COVID, and a lot of my friends work in the healthcare field, so I don't see them much. I haven't seen much of my friends these past 2 years, but I do love to go hang out with my friends, grab a bite to eat, grab a drink. And the stares I get at the bar, let me tell you. They see me sitting in a chair and then they're like, she's drinking a beer. But yes, I do.
Yes,
And yes, but I love, going out there socializing. Obviously, hence the name Gabby. She talks a lot. Excuse me. Yes, I love going out there and socializing with people at any given time or moment. One of my like secret loves is that not that everybody knows about is I love karaoke. I don't like to do it in front of people I know. I'd rather do it in front of strangers because it's a thing there, I'm probably never gonna see these people again. So let me just get up there, do my thing, and see you later. But I won't do it in front of people I know because I'll have to see you every other day or so. So but I love karaoke. I don't mind getting up there and singing and dancing like nobody's listening. And even if there are, I don't really care. I just do what I have to do.
That's
So
awesome.
yeah, I just love to basically hang out. I really don't like to spend a lot of time alone. And that's what I've been really forced to do. But there are moments where I'm like, okay, I need my own space. I need a minute. But other than that, I just like to spend time with people and, just be around a lot of noise. And, it's, excuse me, I got a frog in my throat. Just be as active as possible. It's like I'm used to literally not being home. I take the bus anywhere and everywhere I can just to get out of my house. And I haven't been able to do that for a while. So I'm just trying to do the best I can with what I have.
There you go. That's awesome. Angie and I know firsthand about being at a bar and being stared at, right, Angie?
yes.
We raise our wheelchairs all the way up to the bar and then we're like, yep, everybody's looking at us. It's okay.
Yeah, and it's because we're beautiful. I just want you to know that it's because we're beautiful.
And that's what I think. Because I've been asked, like, can you do that? Is that safe? And I was like, yeah, it's perfectly fine.
I always tell them if you can't walk in a straight line, it doesn't mean I have to drive in a straight line. It's
right, exactly. And people ask, they're like, you're not gonna drive, are you? And I'm like, no, I take the bus everywhere, so I don't have to worry about driving.
Well, that doesn't work for Angie and I because Angie always gets to have the drink and I have to drive. So
that's so wrong. One time we're gonna have to find a DD so Sarah can indulge in that. Just because I think it would be fun because Gabby brought it up. Anyone who wants to tell us what your guilty pleasure is right now, as far as what you like to do during this time to lift your spirits and whatnot, comment in the section below. We would love to hear what your guilty.
Oh, I can't wait to read those.
Right. I also love me some karaoke for sure.
Right.
That's one of my favorite things to do. And then sports wise, I love playing sports. So I play a lot of adaptive sports. Do you play any sports, Gabby?
I don't. I used to play bocce. I love bocce, but I never really got to compete. It was just simply like practice, learning how to throw the ball. Mm-hmm. And I got bored with just practicing. I'm really competitive when it comes to stuff like that. But when they were like, oh, we're just gonna practice, I was like, well, I'm not doing this anymore. I wanna compete against other people and make sure I win. And something that I did previously that I unfortunately can no longer do because it's taking a toll physically is adaptive hand cycling. I used to do that a lot, and I have actually participated in at least 2 events. They're known as, it's a major fundraising event for the Shirley Ryan rehab Shirley Ryan Ability Lab. And it's a major fundraising that they have for their program in their hospital here in Chicago. And what I did was I cycled the distance of the Sears Tower on an adaptive hand cycle. And
Wow.
the way that's determined is through a computer program. They set us up with it's even course with no bumps, no hilly stuff, and then it gets harder as you go up. So I did that twice, but unfortunately it's taken a toll on my hands and my shoulders. So I don't think I can do that anymore. But I love it because I love the adrenaline. And you're doing it with other people. It's just not you. So
Yeah.
we turn it into like a competition to see who finishes the program first. But that's like the best part of adaptive sports that I've done.
That's awesome. Oh,
Muted myself. I'm sorry, guys. I didn't mean to do that. But since we're talking about adaptive sports, you guys do realize that the Paralympics is on right now.
Oh,
That's
yes, they just
right.
started.
They just started last night, and they're on NBC, I think, right?
Yes,
I think
that is
and
correct.
so, and they're getting more airing than they ever have before. And just for you able-bodied folks out there that may not know what the Paralympics is, it's the same thing as the able-bodied Olympics for
Okay.
people that have physical disabilities. So it's the same competition level and things like that. And they take place at the same place on the same cycle as the Olympics do, but they're not always televised. So if you
Is
just
it right
want
that
to
this
see
is the
something interesting.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but is this the first time that they've been televised in the history of the Paralympics?
I think so.
This is the first time they've been nationally televised.
Right.
Oh,
Exactly.
So they're on a national channel. They're on NBC Sports Network. So that's why it's NBCSN. That's where you can find them.
okay.
And since they're in Tokyo time, it's like, 7:00 in the morning for us normally when they're playing. So you can recap and watch the day at the end of the day, typically between like 3 and 10 p.m. They have all the sports on, but it's a really neat thing to watch. I don't know if anybody's watched The Rising Phoenix, which was the Netflix documentary all about the Paralympics. But there's actually a few of the people who were in that Netflix documentary that are competing this year in the Paralympics. So it's pretty cool to see them out and competing again. But some of those sports are really neat. I always thought wheelchair fencing was really cool. I would love to stab somebody with a sword. I don't know why I thought that's so entertaining, but I just think it's a really cool sport. I'm sure there's way more to it than stabbing somebody with a sword, but
On guard.
We gotta hang out. I can totally relate to you, Sarah. That's a good way to release some stress.
Right, that's what I'm saying. I think it would be great. But so the Paralympics are on for the next 2 weeks. So there'll be a lot of sports to watch. So it'd be cool to catch that. Awesome. So kind of switching gears, because I kind of know what some of the things are that you'd like to continue to do with your work in nonprofits and your work with people with disabilities. So somebody told me a little story about how they wanted to be a contestant for Miss Wheelchair Illinois.
Yeah.
So what does that look like for you for where you're at right now?
Well, currently my state, the state of Illinois, does not have an active program. There is no coordinator, there's no program. So I would have to run it as an independent delegate. And I would be, if I am chosen by the National Board of Directors, which applications for the process starts next month, and applications come out next month. Should I be chosen by the National Board of Directors to represent my state of Illinois, I would reign for 1 year as queen. And then after my year is over, and my year of advocacy rather is over, I would pass on the crown to someone else. And I would become coordinator of the program itself.
Correct.
And I am excited, but I am also terrified because I don't know all there is to know when it comes to coordinating or building a program from one that does not currently exist. So I'm trying to translate a lot of the skills that I've learned through my work with the Association of Horizon to hopefully try to build upon or create or improve upon a new Miss Wheelchair Illinois program. So my platform for running as my reign, should I be chosen, would be to create more opportunities specifically for adults with disabilities. And what I mean by opportunities is opportunities to expand on the visibility and presence of individuals with physical disabilities, adults specifically with physical disabilities in their communities, because it's so sad and so weird how able-bodied people or people with no physical disability look at us as individuals with physical disabilities. We go out to the store and I get looks like, oh my God, she's shopping. Or like I pick up a box of cereal and they're like, she's shopping for groceries. And it's like, yes, I have to eat. And it's like, I pick up a bottle of shampoo and it's like, she has to shampoo her hair. And it's like, yes, I'm shampooing my hair just like you are, and the thing is, it shouldn't be this way. Individuals with disabilities are just like anyone else. The only difference is we have mobility devices, whether it's canes, whether it's walkers, motorized or manual. We are people just as much as anyone else, and society needs to become more comfortable with seeing individuals, adults specifically, with disabilities out in the community. It shouldn't be a thing where I'm stared at walking or rolling down the street. I don't know about you guys, but I've had a number of people walk into me while they're staring at me like this as they're walking in the opposite direction and I'm trying to get their attention so they don't walk into a pole that's on the other side of the street, and they're just looking at me because they're astounded by seeing, they're in shock that they see someone in the wheelchair rolling down the street or going to the store or going to the doctor. It shouldn't be this way. Our presence in society needs to be normalized. So that's one of the things I really want to stress with my platform.
Awesome. Angie, did you have anything, any questions or anything?
Yeah, well, I just feel like I agree with you, Gabby, 120%. I would hope that this is what this Real Women, Real Life kind of, what we strive to do here is just have a place where we can have dialogue. Because the starting, in my opinion, the starting of understanding and normalizing it is to have conversation. Because
Absolutely.
the more we talk about it, the more people realize, wherever you are, whether you're able-bodied or disabled, how much we do have in common, all of us. Because we all, I know those of us with disabilities have a tendency to believe that we are islands and we stand alone, and our experiences are in some way unique because that's what society has put on us too. We start believing that, and the reality is it's the same experience. We have the same feelings and all that good stuff.
Yeah.
So anyway.
That's exactly. And I think it starts, the process itself starts simply by approaching somebody, saying hi or smiling at them, or starting a simple conversation like, how was your day? You don't have to ask about their disability right away. Just get to know them, and that stuff will come out naturally. I mean, I don't know if I'm being naive at looking at it so simply, but I mean, that's just the way I see it. Just by starting a simple dialogue or conversation with someone, you get to learn so much about them in so little time. And it's just sad that here we are in 2021 and that individuals with as much as intelligence and personality like the three of us are still trying to, we're still fighting this fight to get noticed. And I'm just somebody who sits in a chair. That's just it. That's the only difference. People walk and I sit. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I think if you think about all people,
Yeah.
everybody has to fight to get noticed, regardless of whether they have a disability, maybe they're a different shape, maybe they have different skin color. It really doesn't matter, honestly. And I'm not trying to be unsensitive to the issue because I get it, but it's also a tool for us to be able to be educators. And we really just have to teach our community what that looks like. And that's what this platform is all about. Wheel Women just wants to teach you that no matter what and who you are, we're women and we can all communicate. We can all get along. We can all do all kinds of activities in our community. There's nothing that can stop us except ourselves. We're very limiting on ourselves as women, as we compare ourselves to other women in society, body shapes, all of those things. And so those are the topics we really love to talk about because they're so important in today's society for a woman to feel like she can be empowered regardless of what's going on in her life, right?
Exactly.
So if we talk a little bit about the difference, because some of our viewers might not know, we've had one of my sisters from Miss Florida USA. She interviewed with us on our last episode, and then you're on for Miss Wheelchair, Illinois. They're two different systems, but on similar lines, right? So we don't call the wheelchair programs pageants because they're not solely related to beauty or looks or confidence like that on that side of the spectrum, like your able-bodied pageants that I've competed in are. Miss Wheelchair organization is definitely more of an empowerment conference. It's about building women with disabilities to be able to speak up for themselves and advocate for what's going on in their community. And so totally different conferences, but the winner, regardless of if you're in the USA like I was, or in a Wheelchair America like she's going to be, the winner gets a crown and they get to be that person, that spokesperson and representative for not only their state, but for this country. And so just being able to speak up for yourself and find that inner confidence, there's a lot of similarities between those types of systems, right? And so we may have broken down some barriers, and I'm praying we did break down some barriers in the able-bodied system by having quite a number of us with disabilities compete in them this year, which was amazing to see. But the Miss Wheelchair America organization is also an amazing kickstart for people with disabilities because it teaches you how to be the best advocate you could possibly be, right? I know it kickstarted my advocacy and really helped me learn how to find my voice, because each one of us have a voice. We just have to figure out how to use it. So I was really inspired when you said you were going to run for Miss Wheelchair Illinois, and that just, it warmed my heart because I feel like more women out there, one, need to know about the organizations that exist for women to build their confidence. And two, I just love that you're willing to take that stance as the only woman in that state, because that says a lot, right? So through Miss Wheelchair America, I ran Oregon's this year, and I helped Miss Wheelchair Oregon get to where she was in nationals. And that was an amazing opportunity for her. She was a delegate, right, and just like you were. So she was selected. There's no Oregon state program either. So being able to coach her and help her through, it's just a way for women to empower other women. And I think that's an amazing opportunity. So
I think that's amazing. I think that's amazing that you were able to use your skills and pass them on. And that's why I followed your journey with Miss USA, because I thought, she's awesome. She's like, no fear, no nothing. You didn't look nervous at all. You look very poised and confident and controlled. If you were nervous, you couldn't tell. And I was just like, go Sarah. I mean, you exuberated confidence and beauty and, inside and out. And I was like, I wanted you to win so badly. And because not only would that, break down another barrier, but I mean, it would just encourage so many other people to, look at what she did. Look at what Sarah did. And
that's okay. It's baby steps, right? In the advocacy world, we call them baby steps. So it's not always your time, right? Angie, what do you have?
I just wanted to say, I wanted you to share, Sarah, a little bit about what the pageant director told you after your pageant experience when they gave you that award that they gave you, about how you opened her eyes and how watching you and learning from you kind of changed her way of thinking. So
Yeah, it definitely did. Yeah, so while I was there for Miss Florida USA, I was awarded the Girl Bossing Award, which is a really prestigious award. It's given by the organization that runs Miss Florida USA, which is Girl Bossing Inc. And the coordinator herself, she just gave a little story as I was rolling up to stage, because I had sat really far away, so it took me a little while. But I was just so blown away at how much of me she noticed. She knew what my platform was. She knew that I was for the future being inclusion. She said, Sarah says the future is inclusion all the time. And I was like, that's amazing that you actually, can remember that that's what I say in my posts. And just being able to see from one year to the next how you can change an organization and you can push for inclusion. I think that was the biggest eye opener for me, because my first year I competed, it was really hard. And I wasn't confident because a lot of it was, oh my gosh, these girls don't like me. I don't look like them. I don't fit in. I can't do the dance. I can't do anything. And it was a lot of negativity in my mind. And so it takes a lot of mindset work to be able to then go back for the second time and say, it's not going to be the same way the second time. So I just really enjoyed my time. And I know each woman that has an opportunity to just step out of their comfort zone, I think that's the biggest part, is just to kind of take that leap of faith, regardless if you win, because I don't care that I didn't win. I changed an entire pageant system in the state of Florida. I think that's amazing. And that to me
awesome.
I don't need a crown for that. That's just awesome, right? And so that leaves so many more opportunities for women in the future. And that's all that I wanted to do. So I think that's great. And just a really cool way to kind of like springboard our talk about, those are leisure activities that turn into something way bigger for us. Because I love pageants and I would continue to compete just because I think they're the best. But I also have to put in a lot of work because I'd have to make each new pageant inclusive. And that's a lot. And I don't know if I want to do all that right now, but
I don't blame you.
They're a lot of fun.
But you would be a good consultant for, like a Miss Illinois.
Yeah, right. I could. No, I have to get selected, so I don't get to choose. So we'll see what happens. But so I'm super excited for you, Gaby, for all the things that are coming up for you. I think that's awesome. Angie, any final thoughts on, or any like last questions we can go through about leisure or any type of activity or anything like that? This episode has kind of been all over the place, so I don't really know where to go from here.
That's what they said about my last podcast. I'm starting to wonder if it was just me, because I tend to go off on tangents.
Hey man, thanks for following us, guys. Thanks for following us.
Our viewers are laughing with us, so it's fine.
That's your challenge, is to follow the ball wherever it goes. Bounces here, bounces there. No, I would just encourage you, because Sarah, it was brought up that a lot of good things happen in our, outside of our comfort zone. So my challenge to all women out there for this week until the next is to find something, no matter how small, that will challenge you and make you grow or stretch yourself beyond your comfort zone.
Yeah, for sure. Gaby, any last minute thoughts about anything before we wrap up here?
Oh no, I just want to thank you guys for the opportunity. I've absolutely loved it. I follow you guys on YouTube. I follow you on Facebook, so I've seen most of your podcasts. So when I saw the offer to be on it, I was like, is this for real? I'm just, because I consider myself to be, I'm a simple girl just trying to live her best life, and who just happens to be sitting in a wheelchair to get around. But I'm like, I don't consider myself to be that interesting. So when people say that I have a lot to say and a lot to share, I'm like, really? Absolutely. I mean, but yeah, thank you for the opportunity to do this, to get my hopefully my platform and my experiences out there. And I can only hope that this will encourage other individuals, whether they're able-bodied or not, are physically disabled, I only hope that they could encourage people to get out of their comfort zones a little bit and do something they're really, really passionate about, even though it is kind of scary at first and overwhelming and nerve-wracking. It's like, just do it. Because if COVID hasn't taught us anything, it's that life is, if COVID taught us anything at all, rather, it's that life is really short and you don't know what's going to happen. So, I mean, if there's something you really want to do, just go out there and do it.
Yeah, I think that's a great way to end it. I think you should just go out there and do it. I totally agree. You'll never know how it's going to end up for you, and you never know if you'll be able to do it if you don't at least try, right?
Right,
You can try and fail and try again. That's totally fine. So
I have one other thing to add.
yes, that's why I stopped.
And that is why, Gaby, how can people get a hold of you, and how can they find out how to get involved with your organization if they're in your area?
Yes, well, you can look us up. Our website for the Association of Horizon is associationofhorizon.org, associationofhorizon.org. You can find me on Facebook. I go under Gaby's Real Life. That's Gaby with S and Real Life. I'm on Facebook. I'm on Insta. Thinking about possibly getting a Twitter. I haven't decided yet. I'm not on YouTube, but who knows? Maybe this will be another leap that I need to take. Going
There
on
you go.
YouTube.
Perfect. Well, Gaby, go ahead and send me those handles later. So I
Absolutely.
can add them in. So just message those to me and we'll make sure we tag you in the video. And then other than that, I think we're going to wrap up for today. Viewers, I know this was a wild episode, so hopefully you stuck through till the end. If you did, don't forget to comment all about what your leisure activity is or what your secret leisure activity is, the one that gives you the most excitement. But please keep it clean. Let's not be weird. But anyway, thank you so much for being a part of Real Women, Real Life. We hope you enjoyed this episode and we'll see you again real soon. Bye, everyone.
Bye.